Hi, my name is Charlie, and I have been an individual employer or PA employer for 16 years. I work at Pathfinders and have done for the last couple of years in their PA employer and PA department, and I'm currently the project lead. Today's topic is about what documents do you need in terms of employing PAs. I want to talk to you about how the right documents and communication can make your working relationship stronger, safer, and more positive for everyone. We'd like to hope so anyway. Doesn't always go that way. When you employ a PA, especially through government funding, you step into the role of employer that can feel overwhelming. Many people don't see themselves as employers. They see themselves as individuals, but legally and practically, you are an employer. Every PA must receive a written statement of employment particulars, also known as a contract of employment. On or before their first day of working, this outlines key details such as pay, hours, holiday entitlement, notice periods. It sets the tone from day one. You should also have a clear written correction. You may want to also, and I heavily encourage you to, have a clear written employee handbook. Why have contracts? Because a contract protects both of you. It prevents misunderstandings, it creates fairness, and it gives you something to refer back to if questions arise. You must also provide itemised pay slips, pension information if applicable, any health and safety information applicable, a privacy notice explaining how you're going to handle their data, your PA's data. These aren't just legal tick boxes. These are signals that you are organised, respectful, and professional. A clear job description is powerful. It should outline what support looks like, daily responsibilities, boundaries of the role, what is not included. Without this clarity, small misunderstandings can grow into tension. For example, is the PA expected to do housework unrelated to your support? Can they answer personal phone calls during work time? Are they responsible for managing appointments or just attending them with you? If it's not written down, it's open to interpretation, and interpretation leads to inconsistency. The importance of induction. Think about your PA's first few weeks. Starting work in someone's home is different from starting in an office. It's personal, it can feel uncertain. An induction pack may be useful to use. You would include things like potentially your routines and preferences, emergency contacts, any information about medication, how you like communication handled, important safety information. This again could also be covered in a house manual along with an employee handbook. You can get templates for house manuals, employee handbooks, contracts, all of the legal documents and other documents you may want from our shared drive, which we can email you the link, as well as there are resources on Pathfinder's website. You can also obviously speak to your employer's insurance directly and get them from them. Many people don't realise that as an employer, even in your own home, you have health and safety responsibilities. If your PA supports with moving and handling, personal care, medication, specialist equipment, you should have written risk assessments. This protects your PA from injury. It protects you from disrepute, and it protects your employment relationship. It also sends a powerful message. Your safety matters to your PA about your PAs. Supporting someone well requires skill. Think about moving and handling training, first aid, medication training, safeguarding awareness. Even informal discussions about how you like things done are a form of training. When you invest in your PA skills, you're investing in better support for yourself. And something important happens. Your PA feels valued. Valued staff are more likely to stay, communicate well, and take pride in their work. Documents create structure, but communication creates culture. Have regular check-ins. They don't need to be formal, even a 15-minute conversation. Ask, what's working well? Is there anything unclear? Do you feel confident in your role? One of the hardest parts of being a PA employee is navigating the balance between professional and personal. Your PA may work in your home, they may support with intimate tasks. Over time, the relationship may feel friendly, but it is still an employment relationship. Clear boundaries prevent role confusion, emotional strain, disputes, burnout. A simple boundaries document outlining expectations around time, communication, confidentiality, and social media can prevent future difficulties. Boundaries are not barriers, they are protections. Many PAs doubt themselves. They worry, am I too strict? PA employers doubt themselves. They worry, am I too strict? Am I too relaxed? Am I doing things properly? If you are providing clear information, paying correctly and on time, communicating respectfully, supporting safe working practices, you are doing a good job. And learning from other employers through shared resources, videos, or peer discussions can be incredibly reassuring. Places like our support group here and our Facebook and WhatsApp groups. One of the biggest benefits of having documentation is this. In times of stress, uncertainty, or disagreement, you have something to refer back to. Instead of relying on memory or emotion, you can say, let's look at what we agreed. That reduces conflict, it increases fairness, and it supports long-term working relationships. Being a PA employer is not just about meeting legal requirements. It's about creating clarity, building mutual respect, protecting both parties, encouraging confidence, supporting safe, consistent care. Documents are not paperwork for the sake of paperwork. They are tools that support good employment practice, strong communication, positive relationships, and ultimately better support outcomes. Remember to ask your funding body what documents they want you to have. Sometimes funding bodies are very particular. They want you to have certain documents. For example, my OT insists on having an up-to-date manual handling risk assessment. You can also speak to your PAs. Some of my PAs over the years have suggested to me certain documents that would be really helpful. That's what made me get an employee handbook, because it doesn't just explain all of the legal things in more detail. It explains all the policies in place. And by having it all in one book instead of loads of separate policies, it makes it much easier for them to refer to. They can search on Windows Word to find the section they want, and they can go straight to it. And some PAs find it a lot less daunting. Other PAs find it really daunting because it's a long document. So it swings and roundabouts, really. A rough guide of what documents would be useful to have when employing PAs include care plan or get to know me file, whichever you want to call it, risk assessment of your home and the environment. For example, in your garden, if you have a loose slab, or you have wires on the floor, things like that. Risk assessment for manual handling, house manual, contract of employment, an offer of employment. So when you are recruiting and you offer a job to someone, giving them a letter with detailed breakdown of the job and everything involved, all of the, like, your wages, your training, or all those sorts of things, all the induction stuff. Have that as well. A job description, having a job application when you're looking for PAs. I found it much better going for a job application that I've personalised to me, rather than going just off a CV that's very general. If you like, you can have a document with interview questions and notes, things that you want to make sure you say at every interview. One of the important things to know is that when you're interviewing people, you need to be giving everyone the same. Essentially, you need to do the interview similar, and make sure you cover the same information on all interviews. Employee handbook, equipment manuals for any equipment that you use. That could be anything from your hoist, your wheelchair, your turntable if you use one of those, your peg pump, your ventilator, your cop assist, your anything like that. Just having a manual on side so that if something goes wrong and you're not available to talk them through it, they can refer to that. Having a medication chart's really helpful. Timesheets, obviously, wage slips, and any training documents that you think would be appropriate to explain any tasks involved in the job role. Now that was a sort of run through. Like I say, speak to your employer's insurance about the real hard legal things you need to docs you need, especially remembering your contract. I very recently I took someone on last year that was when I was poorly, and turns out that she's been here longer than I'm going to admit without signing a contract. So if she was a not nice person, she could get me in trouble for that. So make sure when you're take on a new PA that you sign contracts on the day or before. Just make sure that that's done. I will turn off the recording now and we can move on to any questions.